Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Matt, Dlux, DluxFab.com. Y'all already know it's winter, so it's build season. I picked this up the other day off a guy on the internet. I believe the chassis was made by, if you look here, a company called Lawn Dart Motorsports. She's a little rough around the edges, but I'm going to mess with it. You see I've already put some shocks on the front, some drives on the front. The rear shocks, I'm going to change out. I don't know what these shocks are. Y'all might know. You know, don't worry about the finish on the chassis and all that. I'm going to redo all that. It's dirty. Well, because I've been out wheeling it. But yeah, let's talk about this. Let's talk about build season, guys. You know, there's fucking snow on the ground outside. It's pretty rough. It's like 16 degrees this morning. Ain't much to do in the sense of wheeling. So it's build season. I'm sure most of y'all doing the same thing. But yeah, let's talk about this chassis. I don't know what it's called. Guy built it from at home. Like I said, home built deal. I think it's pretty cool. So I guess that's really what matters. But let's pull down her petticoats and see what we're into. This is magnetic. Like, I'm not impressed with that. Like, that always, it fits, looks kind of cool, but I don't know. It doesn't want to stay. It's got this box on the back. Like I said, I've been playing with this out in the woods, so it's all dirty and gross. Just been beating on it, having a good time. It's got a Savox servo in it. I think it's about a 400-inch ounce servo. That'll do the job for this. Got this little thing here that's all loose in here. I'm going to attempt to use this in 1.9 Pro Mod on our local 1.9 Pro Mod We Rock stuff. So I got to make it fit that rule set. So, you know, this thing will have to go. It has to get a, an actual interior. It's sitting on, let's go to the bottom. It's sitting on AR45s, AR45 straight axles. I got links coming in the mail for this. I'm going to redo all the links. It's got some weights on the back. I fitted our OG knuckles to the front on these AR45s. They're not listed to fit the AR45s, but it wasn't much trouble to fit them on there. Y'all give me a second. I'll pull these front wheels off real quick and we'll show you what I did to make that all fit. Please hold. Alright. Take the front wheels off so you guys can really kind of see under the petticoats here. As you can see, these pretty much just dropped right on. Knuckle balls, full brass. Got the 1.9 heavy lower. With the hubs that are on these wheels here, I don't know what kind of wheels these are. I'm thinking these are some Chanquish, probably Amazon specials, but I kind of like them because they, as you can see, they match that pretty good, and they look kind of cool. Not a big fan of the scale hardware. I think that's kind of silly, but I bought a tool, the scale hardware drivers or whatever, so I can make that work because it looks kind of cool on there, even though scale hardware just in general annoys me. But I think it's neat. Added our rotors back there because the rear already has rotors. If you can see them behind the, there you go. So I had to make that all match, right? I kind of like the boat side thing he's got going on here. That's pretty cool. Yeah, these pretty much went right on to the AR45s. The only mods I had to do to make this work, you see on this driver's side knuckle, it all went right on. No biggie, right? Easy peasy. Get back over here in the light where you can see it. I went right on, easy peasy, no biggie. Now on this other one, we modified it. Kind of the same thing you would do for an AR44. Before we made AR44 knuckles, you got to modify this upper arm to clear this panhard mount. I don't know if you can see that in the light, the way that, no, you can. Excuse me. So you take your Dremel, modify that. The only other thing I saw that, was a minor concern. Let's see if I can show this or not. Sorry about the finger, guys. There's a little bit of play right here, but with whatever these hexes are that I found in the parts bin, seems to work pretty good. Now on the transmission, power, motor side here, I'll flip her over again. I put a 7-turn cobalt puller in there, which I had a few of those, still have a couple of those left. That's a 7-turn, 7-slot brush motor. Those are discontinued. It's a 550. They're pretty hard to find. You do find them, grab them up because you can't get them anymore. Now this skid, let's get right over here where the light is, where you see it. This is your typical, this truck came with a 3-gear, your typical axial 3-gear transmission, and a Holmes Hobbies, a Trailmaster. No, it was a Crawlmaster Sport. It drove pretty good, but, you know, we're not going to be happy with that. So I pulled out the 3-gear and that transmission. I gave it away to a buddy of mine who's building trucks for his kiddos. Be perfect for that. They're not going to hurt it. They'll have some fun with it. I put a nod in here. This is a right motor nod. And I just used this initial hole that was already there for the 3-gear. And then I just drilled one more hole here, as you can see. It's pretty simple. There's the carbon spacers that come with the nod. Let me turn this up so you can see. Yeah, there's a nod in there. Get the light right, yeah. So it's just a nod too. So that little carbon spacer that comes to fit underneath between the transmission and the skid on the nod too is your perfect template. So I was able to just screw this transmission in there, kind of mock it up with one screw, look it over, be like, yeah, those angles will work. The motor is close to this you know, upper front link, but it's, you know, no big deal. I also put a piece of heat shrink on here to keep dirt out of that because these have open brushes. Anyway, so once I figured out where it needed to sit, I used a Sharpie and I marked the corners of the transmission. Then I was able to screw that plate down with a nut on this side. Took the transmission out, screwed that spacer plate down with a nut over here that held it stable. Then I was able to drill from the top of the skid plate straight down through the bottom, which would give me the bolt pattern for the nod too. And then I just took and countersunk this hole with the countersink, and boom, that's how you make a nod 2, you know, fit on about any skid you would want. Now this skid, I could have flipped it either way, so that made it easy too. But when guys ask, you know, hey, how do I fit this skid, this motor and transmission combo on this skid? A lot of times with a skid, you know, existing skid like this that you bought from, that came with the rig. Let's say you bought a used rig like I did that you're going to, you know, church up and make cool and add all your fancy cool parts to. You could use one of the existing holes a lot of times. Just drill one more hole. I think it took all of 10 minutes to modify this skid to fit the nod 2 and the puller motor. So don't be scared of doing that. That was super simple. Excuse me. So yeah, this is going to be a pretty fun little project. It's not the prettiest thing in the world. You know, I've been looking at getting into the We Rock on our local level. I don't want to spend $600, $700, $800 on a chassis. So I bought this whole rig as a run and driving rig for $400, maybe $420, something like that. It was pretty reasonable, and it's going to allow me to get into that class and have some good fun with it. Like I said, this is going to go. It'll get a full interior, all that fun stuff. There was a spare tire holder here, kind of as you can see, to sit right there. But, excuse me, who's going to run a spare tire on a We Rock rig? Let's be real. Ain't nobody got time for that. Sorry, the throat tickles are real. I'm out here in the garage. Like I said, it's like 17 degrees outside. I've had the salamander heater running. You know, running the kerosene in here. That salamander jet engine heater right there. Yeah, it's making it dry and itchy for my throat in here. But I get a shot of water. That'll help that out. You'll have that on them big jobs. The hood is, hey, if any of y'all know what this hood is, that'd be forever grateful. Obviously, it's a Jeep hood. It's off some Lexan body. It's pretty stout, but it's still Lexan. Got some magnets on the bottom to stick it on. Stays on there good. It fits this chassis really well. But I would like to find another one so I can do different color combinations. If any of y'all recognize that hood, what it's off of, put it down in the thing below or shoot me a message. Tell me what you think it is. Because I'd like to find one. Now, we got some new stuff coming this week on the website. We just added 6mm stainless steel links. So this thing has brass links on it, which is all fine and dandy, but you know, I ain't doing that. 6mm links will be the same as the OD of these rod ends. So that'll be all one size across, and it'll add a little bit of weight down those stainless, not brass, because brass, The way I drive, I'll turn those into pretzels. It won't take long. So I'm going to read you all the links on that. We're just going to get the 6mm stainless lowers and still get 3/16 tie uppers. I got all the measurements measured. I just got to order them up. I'm going to sand this chassis down, repaint it, do all that stuff, make it look pretty, make new panels. Going to use these crawler tires for that class because the class states unmodified licensed tire. So, you know, I'm a super swamper guy, but I probably have 3 or 4 sets of 4 super swampers at home. But I don't think I have a single set that is not modified in some way. You know, the rules state you can put vent holes in them and you can wear the tread down, but that's all you can really do to the tires in that class. So, I guess we're running crawlers. A lot of folks love them. JJ swears by them. He says they're really good. So we got some G8 crawlers. Those would be good on there. The foams in here, I'm going to use them. If I was buying new and these didn't already have these, I'd have crawler innovations. But these are Proline dual stage. And well, some folks have complained and don't like them or whatever. I've had decent luck with them, mostly at trail trucks. And if you have them, let's say you buy a used truck and you have these Proline dual stage foams, and people are like, oh, they're not as good as crawler innovations. Well, they're technically not. But are they good enough to have a good time and serve their purpose without you spending another $50 on your rig and you put the money somewhere else, like a cool badass motor? Yeah, I would do that. I would just run them if you have them. They'll serve your purpose just fine. So, don't snub them. They're pretty good stuff. We're also going to go ahead and cover some new stuff on the website right here real quick while we're at it here. Since you know how I am with technology, guys. You know how this works. I'm just going to use this camera to record this phone. We just dropped these new SCX24 brass 7mm hexes. Got a mess of them in. Pretty sweet. Now, what's so special about a brass hex? Well, you're going to add a little bit of weight to your SCX24s, which, that's never a bad thing. But what's cool about them, these are modified, designed so you can actually tighten your wheel nut down, and it'll still spin. Unlike the axial ones that always want to move around and sorry for the shake, guys. Unlike the the axial ones that you can't really tighten down because you can't because it'll bind your wheels up. You can tighten these all the way down and your wheels still freely spin. So that's a huge win. All right, what else we got going on here? I know we just added a bunch of new links to the website, so let's go through and check them out real quick. So, as you all saw last week, we have a few 6mm titanium links. That's what I was talking about with it. See how it pretty much fits that rod in really well. That's going to look really cool on that. Look pretty scale in my opinion, but that's just my opinion. The titanium ones only come in a handful of links. Like these are more designed for super stuff, tie rods and whatnot for supers. But if you go back here, now we got them in stainless. So 6mm OD. So this part of the link here is 6mm. The threads are still going to be 4. But we have all these links here from 60mm all the way up to 180. Get back here. So that's cool stuff. If you want to add a little weight to the bottom of your rig and you like that thicker 6mm link, you know what I mean, just for the look of it or the stiffness or whatever, those are available on the website. Now, they're stainless. They weigh 40% more than a titanium link of the same size. So, yeah, pretty cool stuff. All the link measurements are the same as we talked about a week or two back. All that stuff's pretty much the same stuff. See what else here. We added some link kits also for other manufacturers. We make links for different chassis guys. Guys design chassis and you want. So we got these the Nordic Crawl links. They've been up there a little while for the Nordic Crawl Dragon. A couple weeks ago we added the Punks 3D Anarchist link kit. So that's pretty sweet. For your Punks 3D, your Anarchist scalar rig. We just added these SK Rocktech Roadrunner link kits. Those are available on the website now for your SK Tech Roadrunner chassis. Those are pretty nice. We just added the, a couple weeks ago, we added the GK. We just added this one too. The GK chassis. This is the Loki link kit. So if you got one of these chassis from John Wagner, this GK chassis, we now stock the links for that. So hit us up. We got them for different axles. Hit us up. Yeah, we got them for different axles. We got them for different wheelbase. Take your pick on that. What else we got? We added on LSRC Fab. Man, I'm shaking a lot here. Sorry, guys. Got their Mad Duck link kit. So that's the LSRC Mad Duck chassis. Got link kits for those too. So got the Nordic Crawl Valkyrie kit, CL Designs Spartan kit, CL Designs Artemis kit, Wide Town Double Agent for any of you guys still running those. Got our 5th Dimension kit for the Punch Out, La Para link kit, the Nessie link kit. We got those added to the website. That's a good thing. Then Bomber, Wraith, Sudo 1, Sudo 3D. It just goes on. So, well, guys, don't poke too much fun at me at this rig. She's a little rough around the edges. Give us a few weeks, a few dollars. We're going to make this thing pretty cool. We're going to keep it to a pretty decent budget on this thing. We're not going to get all crazy, spend a bunch of money. It's a little bit of a departure of what we have done previously on the channel. You guys see me build all of our fancy, high-dollar, high-tech trucks. This is going to be more of a low-budget, high-fun, let's have a good time with it truck. I'm not going to spend, $2,000 on this. It's going to be just, a couple $100, and we're going to play with it all summer and have a good time. So, that's all I got for today, guys. Have a happy weekend. See y'all.